O licenses are complicated things. I was asked a question a while ago, and it was, do you need an O license, or what kind of O license do I need to set up a skip hire firm? And as I've always said, I don't know. I'm not very good at this kind of stuff. I'm learning a lot as I go. But fortunately, through the years of doing this and the channel's grown, there's a lot of people out there that know much better than me. And fortunately, one of those guys is my mate Nick, the Urban Trucker, who's answered this question. So what I'm going to do to start off with, I'm just going to read out his response. So this guy asked the question, what do I have to do if I want to set up a skip hire firm? So this is Nick's response, and he's the man who knows. He says, did I hear you right? The O license question, set up a skip hire firm. To answer the question properly, I would need more information, as the movement of waste can be very different from normal road haulage. For example, are they a sole trader or a limited company? Are they collecting or delivering their own skips, or are they moving other people's skips? They have somewhere to park the vehicle, but does the landowner have planning permission to park HGVs on the land? This will be checked by the O licence application, and if the landowner doesn't have permission, the application will be refused. Also, they may be going to be bringing back loaded skips to the yard. I'm not talking about tipping skips or process waste there, because they'll need a waste transfer station licence for that. They may need to get permission from the Environmental Agency just to bring skips back to the yard. They need to apply for an upper tier waste carriers licence. They can apply for a restricted O licence. That's the orange disc. I've got a blue one. A lot of small skip hire companies operate a restricted O licence due to the waste belongs to them when it was collected, thus carrying their own goods and fall into the scope of restricted O licences, not hire and reward transport. Applying for a restricted O licence is a little bit easier because you don't have to have a nominated transport manager, someone with a certificate of professional competence, and you would, as you would with any other type of O licence, you just need to show that you're a competent person and that you have knowledge and necessary experience within the industry. They will still need to do a newspaper advert and have a maintenance agreement, preferably a 4 to 5 week inspection schedule due to the harsh environment these vehicles work in. The financial standing on a restricted O licence is $3,100 for the first vehicle, then $1,700 for additional vehicles, and that money needs to be in the account and full and untouched for a minimum of 28 working days before applying for the licence. But they will want to see 3 months bank statements. This is quite unheard of nowadays. This guy, I don't know what says that. Evidence you can use to show financial standings: bank and building society accounts, credit card statements, overdraft facilities, invoice finance agreements, audited accounts. Assets can be sold quickly, except for your vehicle fleet. Remembering, if the company is limited in the bank, credit card statements and other forms of financial standing shown in your application must have to be in the company's name and not your personal name. If you're a sole trader, then all financial evidence needs to be in your name. Told you it was complicated, didn't I? It's just the thing with operators' licenses. I mean, that's, if you're thinking of doing a skip hire thing, there you go. If you're thinking of joining the exchange, then you can't be a restricted O licence, because you're not carrying your own goods. You're carrying other people's goods. It's like if you want to rent a truck from the rental people to do a removal, that's okay, because that's you moving your own stuff. If you want to rent a truck from the removal people to do a removal job for someone else who you're getting paid for, that's not okay, because you're doing the job for someone else and you're moving their stuff. I think I get confused with this stuff. I have a standard national, which is, there are 3 kinds of operators license: restricted, standard national, standard international. Restricted, you carry your own goods within the country. Standard national, you can carry other people's goods within the country. Standard international, you can carry other people's goods in the country and other people's countries, as I understand it. And then the questions come, well, what if I'm a scaffolder? Do I need an O licence to be a scaffolder because I'm carrying my own gear? But then what if I'm a mobile shop? Because if you're a mobile shop and you're only working very locally, you know, like I think it's within 4 to 10 miles, something like that, I'm not sure if you need no licence at all, because it's a mobile shop and it's local. But then if I'm a scaffolder and I'm only doing scaffolding locally, does that make me kind of like a mobile shop? And what if I'm a horse box? If I'm a horse box, that's my goods. But if I'm carrying someone else's horses and I'm getting paid for it, do I need a standard national? The whole thing is an absolute minefield. And if you haven't got a Nick, and you don't want to pose the question, and I don't blame you, because all I'm going to go is, I don't know, the best thing to do is to ring them. You know, they're actually very approachable people. There was a bit of time when the lockdown came, it was difficult to get hold of through the operator's telephone number, but you could still get through. If you rang the DVLA, you could still get through that way. Now the operator's number is up and running. Ring them. You might be on hold for a little while, and also write down the questions you want to ask. So, you know, because otherwise you'll put the phone down and you go, oh, I meant to say, what if I want to move it later a date? What if I want to go limited at a later date? Write down all the questions you want to ask, ring them, and hit them with it. Right, I want to skip iPhone. I'm going to be renting here. I'm going to be there. And they will go, you need this, you need that. You need a very, very helpful people. And then it's just a journey of a million miles. It's a matter of jumping through all the hoops until you get to where you need to be. So as for the Skip I people, I hope the rhetoric there answered the question. As for anybody else, if you're thinking of going in, you know, you need a 7.5 tonne, you need an 18 tonne, you need a lorry, you need to get an operator's license, and you're not sure where you stand on certain things, ring them. Start the application online. Application online is not difficult to do. Just keep logging into the same one. That's one of the mistakes I made. I started and then logged in 3 or 4 times, ended up with 5 different applications. And eventually you'll even get like a case manager or a case worker. And if you've got any issues, you can ring them and go, right, or email them. Get an email address. Get the right one. I got the wrong one. It held me up for a long time. I thought emails were getting through and they weren't. Ring them. Ask the questions. It's not actually that difficult. It's just laborious and can be expensive, which is why you kind of want to get it right. You don't want to take the advert out and then find out you haven't got enough funds, and by the time you haven't got enough funds, they go, your advert's expired, now you've got to take it again, because those things aren't cheap. Ring them, find out where you need to be every step of the way, and then journey of a million miles. Just take those steps, and then one day you'll get the email, your operator's license is granted, and then if you need to, you can use it to take care and take money.